friends, it's Miss Amy again, and I'd like to switch gears a little bit and read you a story. It's a problem-solving story about when people are not that kind to us, and sometimes even when we feel bullied by other people. What that looks like and some things that we can do to help, places we can go to get help, and how we kind of solve those things when people are picking on us or not being very kind. This is called Henry and the Bully. This is Henry. The first graders loved playing soccer during recess, but one day Henry was chasing the ball when he ran right into Sam, the new second grader. So clearly Sam is much bigger than Henry, and it was an accident. He didn't mean for that to happen. A bunch of second graders laughed when Sam kicked the ball right over the fence. So instead of giving it back to Henry or playing with him, he kicked the ball over the fence at school, and that way nobody can play with it. "Hey, why did you do that?" asked Henry. "Because I wanted to. You got a problem with that, shrimp?" said Sam. No. I'm sorry," said Henry. So he's kind of trying to start something with Henry. He calls him shrimp, which is not nice to call people names. He says you have a problem with it, when clearly Sam did make a problem when he kicked the ball over the fence, but Henry was afraid to stand up to him because he's older and he's much bigger. And you can see how nervous Henry and his friend look. And all of these kids too look pretty nervous over here, but they're afraid to say anything. And then here's Sam and one other of his buddies that are high-fiving and think it's funny. So that's usually what happens. When a conflict happens like that, there's usually a lot of people standing around that feel just like you do, but they don't really know what to do either to fix it. After recess, Henry told Mr. McCarthy what Sam had done. "Sam is a big bully," said Henry. "Oh, I know all about bullies," said Mr. McCarthy. "When I was a pup, a bully picked on me." So now he's a grown-up dog, but he's saying when he was a little puppy, someone picked on him too. "Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on Sam and the second graders," said Mr. McCarthy. But at the next recess, just as the first graders got their game going, so here they are again, they've got the ball, they're ready to play. Here's Mr. McCarthy keeping a watchful eye. And you can see Sam peeking from far away. Mr. McCarthy had to rescue a kindergartner from the monkey bars. While he was busy, Sam grabbed Henry's tail just as he was about to score. So we're not kind here either. To grab someone's tail, grab someone's shirt, grab someone's arm, to trip somebody. The next day at recess, Mr. McCarthy had to rush a kid with an owie to the nurse. So Mr. McCarthy's trying, but he keeps getting pulled away. So it sounds like what you start to realize in life is what Henry's starting to realize in this book, is that sometimes you have to take matters into your own hands and solve things, even if you're afraid to use your big voice and stand up for what's right and for what you believe in. Because, see, they have the ball here and they see them coming, and you can clearly see everyone's nervous about it. Sam said, "Shrimp, we're going to play soccer now, so get lost." For the rest of the day, Henry was miserable and his tummy hurt. So Sam took the ball and embarrassed him, called him a name again, and it's making Henry feel bad. That's where his tummy ache's coming from, and the butterflies in his stomach. Because he knows he wants to stand up to Sam, but doesn't really know how to, and Sam won't stop picking on him. To make matters worse, he got all of his spelling words wrong. Oh, he's just having a rough day. That happens sometimes. We all have days like that. The next morning, Henry said, "Mom, I'm too sick to go to school." So he's pretending to have a tummy ache so he doesn't have to go. He has an anxious stomach. He's nervous. "That's too bad because today is Saturday," said Henry's mom. It is? Oh, I'm feeling much better now, said Henry. So he was kind of fibbing about how he didn't feel well. And then when his mom said it's Saturday and we don't go to school on Saturday, all of a sudden he was healed. It was a miracle. He felt better and ready to play, so he didn't have to go to school. That afternoon, Henry's mom took him and Pete to the department store. While his mom was shopping, Henry was wondering what to do about the bully. And suddenly, there was Sam. Oh, it's Samantha. That dress will be perfect for your Uncle Jimmy's wedding, said Sam's mom. Sam is Samantha. That got by me. And so Sam is kind of embarrassed because she's having to try on this poofy, fluffy dress. And uh-oh, there's Henry. Sam didn't seem very happy. She looked even less happy when she saw Henry staring right at her. So not only is Sam embarrassed because she doesn't want to wear those clothes, she's really mad that Henry saw her in it and was embarrassed. Now Henry was really worried about what Sam would do to him. That night, Henry dreamed he was a superhero. But in the morning, he was still just Henry the little mouse. So see here, he's dreaming of being a superhero and pulling on Sam's tail and showing her that he wasn't going to put up with any of her stuff. But that's also not kind. That's really not how you get someone to stop picking on you. At school on Monday, Sam cornered Henry in the hallway. Shrimp, if you tell anyone you saw me trying on that dress, I'll kick your soccer ball into space. Wow. Sam needs to take some deep breaths. Clearly, definitely needs some balloon breathing and to be a star. I wouldn't tell anyone, Henry said. You looked pretty embarrassed, and that wouldn't be nice. Sam was so surprised she didn't know what to say. So Henry was being very kind. He was being empathetic towards Sam, even though she had been very unkind to him. He said, I wouldn't want to embarrass you. So he realizes that making her feel bad is not the way to go about this. And she realized that too. At recess, the first graders were having a good game when the second graders showed up. Oh no, said Sydney. Why don't you play soccer with us? Henry asked Sam. You're on, Shrimp, said Sam, but she winked at Henry. So now, instead of being like, hey, Shrimp, she was like, okay, Shrimp, let's do it. So see, it's also, if you have a nickname for someone, if you don't say it in a mean way, if it's meant in an endearing way or that you love or care about somebody, it's really not bad then. It's just the way you say it. Everyone had a ball playing soccer. Look how much fun they're having together. Instead of everyone kind of standing around waiting for a fight to happen or one person taking the ball, kicking it over the fence and ruining it for everybody else so that they can't play. Look at how great and happy. Look at all the smiles. Everyone's having the best time together. And when the bell rang, Mr. McCarthy said, I see everyone is playing together nicely. I'm glad I could help. So Mr. McCarthy thinks that he's the one that did that, but actually the kids worked it out for themselves. He was kind of the overseer of that, but it's the kids that worked it out. And it was really Henry, by having empathy and being kind, and that's hard to do when someone's not kind to you. But if you can find it in your heart to be kind to someone else and show them that you're not going to let that affect who you are, a lot of times that story turns around and you end up being friends with that person, or they think, wow, this is a really good person and how I've been treating them is very unkind. So remember that next time someone's picking on you, you don't have to allow someone to mistreat you ever. But also don't go back at them by hitting them back or embarrassing them or tripping them or calling them an unkind name. Show them how kind you are, and your kindness will rub off on them. But remember to always stick up for yourself and use your big voice. That means shoulders back, look eye to eye with someone and say, I don't like the way you're treating me. I don't want to be called Shrimp. It doesn't make me feel good when you take the soccer ball and throw it over the fence so that no one else can play. Don't do that again. All those things are completely fine, and they're a way to maintain your own calm, but also stick up for yourself. So kindness in this world counts number one more than anything, but we need to feel safe. That is equally as important. And how we can do that is by showing our kindness and compassion to other people. And then it rubs off. And if we all did that, it would go around the world. Just like the invisible string that Miss Amy read you in the last lesson, our kindness can also wrap around the whole world with an invisible string if we just show it to one person and encourage them to be kind to the next person. So I hope you liked Henry and the Bully. I liked reading it to you. And just remember, believe in yourself, stand up for yourself, use your strong, assertive voice, but don't yell, don't call names, don't scream. That's when we can use our calm before we go into those situations, and I wish you well.